Hi guys, welcome to the Camperdan Files. My name is Chris, and in today's video we are going to go ahead and replace both the driver and passenger side lower control arms. In a previous video I mentioned that I was actually going to rebuild the control arms. I do have some polyurethane bushings. However, I did end up buying some replacement control arms and ball joints. And these ball joints are going to be serviceable. Now, the reason why I purchased these is because I'm going to be doing some heavy duty towing in the next 2 weeks. I'm actually going to be hosting a camp party. Because of this, I'm not going to have enough time to rebuild the control arms like I planned. I'm still going to be rebuilding them, and I'll probably put them on at a later date. However, because we need the truck to be safe on the road, we're going to go ahead and use some new replacement control arms. We did go ahead and take the liberty of lubricating everything under here. A couple of bolts right here. In the front, we have that bolt right there. Now, I went ahead and sprayed everything down with WD-40 just in anticipation for this repair. I did replace my alternator already. You guys would have seen the replacement video by now. So this is a few days later. I haven't put my splash shield back in place yet. We're going to go ahead and attack the driver's side first. So now we have the R50 safely secured on a set of jack stands, driver and passenger side. Still have our 3-ton low profile floor jack in place. And we also chucked both the back wheels. So here's the box with the control arms. This is going to be a Mevotech brand. I hope I'm saying that right. Ordered these through Rock Auto, and it wasn't supposed to get here until next Wednesday, but I was surprised. It actually showed up the very next day. Like, I ordered them while I was at work, and by, I don't know, noon the following afternoon, they were at my door. He set me back about $200, but I did have a discount code, so it did save me a few dollars. So here they are. So let me get one of these open. Well, we'll get them both open and we'll inspect them together. You always want to inspect your parts for damage before you commit to things. Let's see. Oh, it's packaged really nice. And there's a control arm. Yeah, it looks really good. And there's our ball joint. Hopefully it's not damp. Oh, and it is. Well, that's not what we want to see. That's unfortunate. I paid extra for these to be greased. As you can see, they're damaged right here. So that means the other one's probably like that too. Let's see. And again, this is why you want to inspect things. That's really disappointing. But it's not the first time that I've gotten parts that arrived damaged. Not necessarily from Rock Auto, but just in general. What about this one? This one appears to be undamaged. Oh. So there's supposed to be a plastic cup that covers this. And what happened was that cup on the other side there, it came apart. The good news is this is the driver's side control arm. Let's check this bushing. Everything looks good there. This should be fine. And to be completely honest, I had anticipated only working on the driver's side tonight anyway. But that really sucks because I really needed to get this done, like done and over with. So this driver's side control arm is good to go. Now I gotta decide if I'm gonna go through the trouble of sending the passenger side one back, because I'm gonna have to eat shipping. These ball joints are not cheap. They're like $40 or something like that. And like I said, I paid extra to get it with the ball joint. What happened was this did have a plastic cup on it, but the cup broke. And when it broke, it destroyed the ball joint. So let me inspect the driver's side one closer and see. And as long as it's good to go, I'll then go ahead and use it. And I'll communicate to Rock Auto to let them know that this stuff arrived damaged. I just went ahead and uncupped the ball joint, and it is undamaged. So that's a good thing. And it comes attached to the control arm. So I think what I want to do, what I probably will do, is disassemble this, because the last thing I want to happen is that this gets damaged during installation. I think what we're gonna do is go after these bolts right here. There's one right there, and then the secondary one over here. So here's our first bolt. Nice. All right, so I brought you guys around to the front. Yeah, 17. This nut is gonna be a 22. There we go. Ooh, that thing was smoking. Wow. I'm winning, guys. I can't believe it. Here's our bolt. Here's our nut. So all we have left is that 22 on the outer side of the control arm in the rear. We're gonna go ahead and get some tools here to remove this cotter pin. We'll get this castle nut off and that last bolt. Hopefully we have enough room to blast this off with the impact. And there we go. There's our ball joint. That's now free. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and take out that last remaining fastener there. All right, guys, so we're bringing you back now. We went ahead and removed the manual hub face. We removed our CERT clip or C-clip. And now we're removing the ball joint from the actual control arm. I know it seems like a lot of extra steps just to complete this repair, but it's worth it, because in the end, if you try to go against this, you're just gonna be spinning your wheels and you're gonna have to end up doing it anyway. So you might as well just go along with it and just do it. So after fighting with things for a while, we're finally able to get our ball joint out. We had to stick the key in the ignition, put the truck in accessory mode, and turn the steering wheel all the way to the left. So here's our old ball joint. What we're gonna do is separate the new ball joint from the new control arm. We're gonna get the control arm installed first and then put the ball joint in the box. And again, we're doing this in an effort to not damage anything. I was able to get the front side of the control arm tapped into place. And yes, you are going to be using the original bolt, unless it's completely trashed. Even though mine is rusty, it's still in relatively good shape. So we're definitely reusing it. Come on. Go in your hole. I had to tap the back side of this. Again, don't wail on it. And it should come through just like you see it here. Now you're not gonna tighten this down all the way just yet, because you have to get the R50 put back together, and you're actually gonna be torquing this while the suspension is on the load. So for right now, everything's just gonna be loosely secured. You wanna pay close attention to this side right here where I'm pointing. This is gonna be facing the inside. And again, same thing, you're not gonna torque anything down because this has to be set with the weight of the R50 on it. So for right now, you're just gonna finger tighten things. Like I was telling my wife before I even came out here, and she's like, "What fight?" I was like, "You know, the fights that I usually have when nothing goes according to plan, you know, those fights." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll see you later." Because she already knows I'm gonna be out here forever. Just usually how it goes. And of course, just like everything else that we've been doing so far throughout this video, you guys didn't exactly see what I had to do to get this in here. So I'll try and give you a playback. So you're gonna grab the back side of your knuckle here by the caliper. You're gonna pull forward and you're gonna slide the CV axle out as far as you can, and then slip your ball joint back in there. And for you guys that seem to think or know that you can get this out without doing that, don't just jump in my comments and say that it's not necessary. I want you to actually make a video and send me a link to where we can view said tactic that you're using. Because if it's one thing about myself, I try not to do things unless they're absolutely necessary. So if you're seeing me doing this stuff, it's because it's necessary. Now, if you got a actual way that works, other than the techniques that I'm illustrating here, like I said, make a video of it and send it to me. Now, the only reason why I even decided to take on this repair is because of a good friend of mine. Sadly, he's now a late friend of mine, just passed away a week ago. So you guys are seeing this video. By the time you see it, it would have been even longer since he passed. Some of you probably already seen some of his videos in the past also concerning the R50 platform. Sadly, he passed away due to a violent car crash. And yeah, we're now all basically trying to pick up the pieces and carry on. Rest in peace, Drew Hendricks. I actually found out just this morning while I was at work via Instagram. His wife finally disclosed to us what happened and the fact that he was no longer with us. He's gonna be missed, especially by myself, because I was just talking to him a couple of weeks ago. Now here comes the fun part, getting everything to go back together. Oh yeah, it's a good thing you put the grease in the pool this way. All right. Oh. Oh. There you go. see, this is gonna be some fun. And then down here, we just have to set our final torque spec and get our cotter pin in there. I want to say that this is really, really close. We might have to back things off a little bit, but we're lined up. Our nuts are tight under here, and then we just got to tighten here and there. See how the rubber boot is almost parallel to the mounting bracket there. That's pretty much what you want to see. But final torque has to be set with the suspension at ride height or under load, if that makes sense. Once we get these three items situated, we're done. You got a four-wheel drive vehicle like this one, you have all sorts of stuff that's gonna get in your way. And if you can get things apart without taking half of this stuff off, you're a bad man, and we need to see what you're doing. One, two. Wouldn't be a bad idea to get some more WD-40 in here. Great, my tool is now stuck in. Again, I did bathe all of this down the other day, so should come apart. Alright. Let's see if we can get it. Yep. Got it, coach. Oh. And even though it's rusty, it's coming right out of the hole. And here's our 17. We'll start with the inside first. Yeah, it'll come. Yeah, like I mentioned, I did bathe these. I bathed them in WD-40 the other day. You're gonna pull the ball joint down, and you can turn it away. Yeah, so the ball joint's gonna be facing like this under the control arm. It'll be up slightly. You just wanna pull it down and then pivot backwards away from the bottom of the control arm. So yeah, it'll collapse downward like you see it here. And then all you're gonna do is grab and pull that sucker out. So now, here's our old control arm. We're gonna go ahead and get the mounting bracket removed here from the old one. Get that placed onto the new one and slap it on. Unfortunately, I didn't document it just in case you guys are wondering what a bad lower control arm looks like. In my case, it had nothing to do with the looks. It was more of what the control arm was doing. So, as you guys might have seen a short time ago, I mentioned getting my driver's side wheel bearing replaced. Now I did that on a hunch because I thought for sure it was the bearing that was causing the vibration that I was feeling. It did cause some of it, but not all. Turns out that the driver's side lower control arm, it was so worn that whenever I would go down the road and I would start turning right, like if I was going down a roadway at speeds and needed to turn right, that side of the vehicle, that particular wheel would shudder. So I automatically thought it was wheel bearing, and I even checked for play. And the play that I got and experienced, it seemed like a wheel bearing, but it was not. It was actually the control arm. Because after having that repair done, I pulled on that wheel again, and it still had about, I don't know, 3 or 4 centimeters worth of play in and out. And since replacing that driver side control arm, that shutter went away. We had a little bit of play on this side too, but nothing like what we were seeing with the driver side. So once we replace this passenger side control arm, we shouldn't see any play at all. Like, even my wife agrees, the truck feels nice and tight now. So like I mentioned, we're not gonna use this ball joint because it did arrive torn, as you guys can see there. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this and then get our lower control arm mounted onto the R50 here. We're gonna be replacing the CV axles. As you can see here, they're completely wasted. That happened pretty much as soon as I lifted my R50. I haven't really had a need for four-wheel drive, so these haven't been used that much. But even after discovering that the boots are ripped like this, the inner CV boot, I was still able to drive in four-wheel drive, and believe it or not, it didn't make any noise, which is amazing considering the fact that all the grease is gone. All right. And our ball joint is now off. It's completely trash. So we're gonna go ahead and get the R50 jacked up here and off of the jack stands. We'll gently lower it back onto its wheels, and we'll go ahead and run those nuts and bolts in, and then we'll set the torque. So I'm gonna start removing the driver side jack stand first. Clear. Passenger side clear. And you're gonna want to gently, and I mean gently, lower this thing back down. I don't know how much you guys missed there. My camera has shut off. I'm assuming because of the heat out here. All right, guys, so we have the R50 at ride height, the rear bushing. You guys see how it's parallel to the mounting bracket? That's what you want to see. It needs to be just like that. If it's not like that, then what's going to happen is that you're going to run the risk of damaging that bushing. Although those bushings, you have to go pretty far with your truck for those to start disintegrating. Usually it's the bushing in the front of the control arm where it attaches to the subframe up there. That's the one that usually comes apart. These back here, I've seen them hold on beyond the life of the control arm. Although mines were showing their age as well, but even still, they were still holding on. Yeah, so we're just gonna try and torque this beast to 100 foot-pounds, which is easier said than done because I'm pulling instead of pushing, which is not ideal. Okay, that's 100. See if we can get our inner bolt. Ah, 100. And then the front, that guy's gonna be torqued to 75 foot-pounds. Stay still. Okay. Let's get our torque wrench. Ah, come on, baby. Ah, there we go. Torque to spec. If you found today's video helpful, go ahead and give it a like. And while you're at it, don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks again for stopping by the Camper Dan Files. My name is Chris. And until next time, keep using your Pathfinder as a Pathfinder, on or off the pavement. Oh, not so fast. We're not done. Well, this video's done, but I'm not. We need to torque our lugs to spec here. You don't want to forget that, because you'll be reminded really swiftly. Yeah, this is one thing you don't want to forget, because the reminder that you'll get, by the time it comes, it'll be too late and the damage would have already been done.